right, good morning.
Hey,
How's everybody doing? All right. Team meeting July 19th. Heat of the summer. Is your business as hot as the weather, Sharon? It is? All right, I love it. Okay, look great. Let's get started. Thank you guys so much for being here. We got a packed day, have a lot of fun, bring a lot of energy. My clicker doesn't work. All right, let's get started with some bucket fills. Who's got something good or something great to share? Remember these microphones so you can be heard online. We get a little audience online. There we go. We're grabbing some people online. Share something good.
So this is an industry of first, and I have my first owner finance buyer. He's only looking for owner finance homes.
Okay.
So I'm learning that. new
Okay,
term.
great. That's kind of like, yay, good luck. Okay. All right, great. Who's got something else? Bucket fills. Okay.
I had a cash deal just fall in my lap last week, second closing.
All right, cash deals. You're saying people still got money out there. Yeah, absolutely. Good job.
I got my 4 leases done. I represented the landlord, and I'm very excited to do that process first time.
Okay, good work. Okay, good. Anybody else? Bucket fills, gratitude. Online, we can hear you if you speak up. Oh, LaDonna Parker sitting in the corner.
so once upon a time, I used to refer out divorce transactions. God blessed me with 3 of them, and I'm keeping them.
Okay. Divorce is, you're kind of like, we're not celebrating the divorce. We're celebrating the assisting them through the transaction, right? It is a life transition. It's one of those that shows up in our world. Death is another, loss of a job, right? Those will occur no matter what market they're in. No one goes home and says, hey, I filed for divorce, but let's wait till the market gets better. That was supposed to be funny. Man, this is a rough crowd. Anyone else? Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Yay! She doesn't have a choice. She already signed up for that. So you still think I'm funny, babe? All right. Yay, that's sweet. All right, anybody else? Something good? Bucket fills. Anyone? John.
License renewed.
You got your license renewed. So this makes how many years in the industry?
1973.
I just happen to know that. That's 50 years John's been in the industry.
And just to add, he couldn't stay, but CW had the exact same thing. He told me 50 years to
50 years in the industry. I just happen to know 73 and 50. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a bad number. It's a good number. All right, let's move along. All right, here's an overall view of some classes and events are coming up right in the same spot. And let's go over those. We got a slide for each one, Norman says. Yay. How do I get rid of this? Why is this up here? There it is. Got it. Okay, creating smart plans. Ooh, smart plans are going to be good. We're going to be talking about staying in contact with our people today. That never goes away. How's your database? On a scale of 1 to 10, right? Your business is your database. Your database is your business. How is your database on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is, man, I really need to do something with the people that I know. One of these days, I'm either going to put them in a spreadsheet or some sort of management system, or maybe even use Command is a 1. And the 10 is, I'm killing it. All my business comes from there. It's automatic. I could go away for 3 weeks and I would still have business. Where's your score? Turn to your neighbor and tell them what your score is.
10. On a scale of what?
1 to 10. 1 would be, I have a phone and I have some contacts. I don't do anything. 10 is, it's very systematic. I feed it, I build it, and I add value. And I just, all the leads I get come from my database. Where's your scale? Just tell your neighbor. If you don't share, you can't have a 0. Okay, great. Here would be a great place to start. If you're anywhere 6 or below, I would tell you, let's get right in this class. And it's on Zoom too. All right, let's keep going. Oh, this is an AMCAP. Anybody here from AMCAP to tell me what you're doing?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, great. We'll go back to that one. That's appraisal class. Who's putting all these on here?
I put it on.
Well, you gotta tell us about it. I don't know anything about them.
Well, I just saw it on the calendar today. There's a class coming up. It's today at, what is it? Tomorrow.
We really got our act together here on the leadership team. Okay. Well, you think if I'm 50, the rest of the group would help me, right? Make me look good.
Drama free closing is happening. It's Fidelity National Title is going to be given that class. They're helping you have a smoother transaction because they've been noticing an uptick with problems and deals not going all the way through. So come to the class tomorrow from 2:30 to 3:30. So just 1 hour to learn about some helpful tips on closing your transactions.
Okay, great. All right. We still got our summertime vibe. Is that what we call it? Or is that for happy hours? Sorry. Last week we were at the Sugarland Heritage Museum. How many went there? Interesting. Did you learn something? We're working at getting out. And so August 2nd, we'll have our last offsite and we're going to Fulshire. That's a growing area. And we'll be at the Highland Homes. Highland's got a fantastic product. Be great there. So join us. That is August 2nd. Put that on your calendar. Don't show up here. We got this other great event that comes in August. It's called Mega Agent Camp. Mega Agent Camp, where the best of the best get in front. Gary interviews them. It's where top agents go. You talk high level. It's right. The privilege we have right here in Austin. It's just a driveway and we have some fun. We'll have some fun while we're there. It's really cool in Austin in August. So it's actually refreshing, but it's a great event. It's amazing that more people will travel from afar than they will from South Texas because it's right in your backyard. We just take it for granted. Some years, the greatest participation we have comes from Alaska, percentage-wise based on their market center. Kind of fascinating. They figure out how to wait. It's just right there. Take advantage of it, and we have a lot of fun. All right, ALC Minute. I think this is when you guys would get up now. Yeah, they are.
Okay, our ALC minute is exciting. We're gonna be doing listing contests. Cause we're going on a cruise. Anybody want to go on a cruise with us? So.
Yeah, the cruises are fun.
Yeah.
Really,
So here are the things to do to qualify. You have to sell to sale. Everybody on the top 20 gets invited.
right.
One person, you can bring a guest. And the second is we're gonna list to cruise. That's for every single person between today. The listing has to be signed today. It could be a lease or for sale. It starts today. The contract has to be signed today, not yesterday, today, all the way to August 31st, 6 weeks. So whoever gets the most listings in that time frame also gets to sell.
And they both start today. So the sale to sale and the list to cruise starts today to August the
You
30th.
wanna go?
Okay,
You don't sound
so
excited.
if you want to go, you have to get on the list. You got to get yourself going.
Brandon, you wanna go, right?
I wanna go.
All right.
The contest, I guess, starts today, but it's really production from year to date.
Date,
January 1st.
To August 31st.
August 31st is that top 20. And when she says you can bring a guest, you have to pay for your guest, but we're paying for you. So
Right.
that's what we're talking about.
I'm
All right,
sorry about that
secret.
one next.
We've been on several cruises. How many times have we done it as the office?
4 times? that's-
4. We go out of Galveston. It's a lot of fun. KW Southwest. We do reward the top 20 based on GCI, right? So they get an invite. They
Mhm.
say decline, they decline it. They can bring a guest. You got to pay for your guest, spouse, whoever. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a good way to meet people and do it along the way. And then we're also creating an incentive so other people can join in.
It'll be a
Yeah.
CE
It's
credit.
January what?
January
January
the
15th
15th
through the 20th.
20th.
And there'll be a CE credit.
I
We're
want to add
looking, we're
to that.
looking at doing a CE credit on board. So we're still looking into that. So. And one of the prices is gonna be $500. Only if you qualify for both.
So if you are in the
What,
top
what,
20
what?
I think you already talked.
Oh,
about
you're
it.
already on, okay.
It's
She
not
should
even
do
on.
This instead of putting.
Oh, online. I was like, what? If you,
Right, there you go.
She did.
if you win the listing contest and you're in the top 20, then we'll give you a $500 onboard credit.
See now.
Encourage you guys, because some of y'all got very deflated. I don't know if y'all noticed the energy. Just because
Right.
the top 20 is on that board right now does not exclude you out. Why? Because if they don't want to go, then it pulls the next person.
No,
So it doesn't
exactly.
take you
Decided
out
to
of
go.
the system. It doesn't take you out of the
So it-
opportunity to
it-
actually win this cruise. So stay busy, stay focused.
Verna's right. In the past, we've actually gone pretty far down on the list to fill up our spots. So she's absolutely right. And that listing contest, don't be discouraged about that. You know, you can absolutely win that. Just get your butt in gear for the next 6 weeks. It's through the end of August. Every listing, it's where you included leases too. We need to get more listings out there to start with. We want to give you an incentive to get out there and go find the motivated, get those houses listed.
And the good thing about it, guys, too, we're also going with 2 more Keller Williams offices, which is exciting because we never done that before. So it's gonna be like one big happy family.
Yeah.
Man, y'all are so excited about this. What is going on? Yes.
Is it listings to close or just listings?
Listings.
We need listings.
We need listings.
If you get them to close, you get a paycheck.
Yes.
Right. Right. Yeah,
You go on your
You get more
excursion
money.
for the casino.
Right.
Do they have a casino on this?
Oh,
Oh.
no, they do have a casino.
Is it based on GCI or the number of contract units?
The contest, but we still do GCI for the top 20.
20, right.
Sell to
Or
sale.
if they pass and say, timing's not right, I can't
And
go,
list to
then we just go
cruise.
to the next person. Okay,
One more thing, as long as there's availability, we will allow you to purchase your own ticket to go if you don't qualify. We want as many of Keller Williams people to be on this boat. That'd be awesome. So we are doing something different this year, opening up to everybody. If you want to go, just purchase your own ticket.
okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
So we need a shift
Go.
to some listings.
All right, great, thank you. We will put this all out. We will put this all out in an email and all these, everything will be written and sent to you.
Aura still has to speak on
All right, go ahead, Aura.
Okay, so I just want to tell you guys, I want to piggyback on what he said about your database, and we're all sitting on gold mines with the people you know. I'd say that about 98% of my business is from my database. My database isn't even very big. I'm just in their face constantly. And so, get the people you know, collect them. You know more people than you think you do. Put them in command, put them on some sort of drip campaign, but don't stop there. When I'm showing property or driving around and I drive anywhere near somebody I know, I send them a voice text saying, hey, I'm driving by where you are. I'm on my way to show property. I always say something like that. And so it connects in their head, oh, she's in real estate. And I thought about you, so I'm just sending you a hug or saying hi. And I do that so often. I'm always in their face when I'm hanging out with
You're
them.
always top of mind.
I'm always top of mind when I'm hanging out with them and I get a business call. I say, "Oh, this is a client." Like, I don't just put it silent, like you remind them, I'm in real estate. This is a client. Oh, I have this client that did this. Oh, it's like it comes up almost every conversation. I'm very subtle about it, but it constantly reminds them about what I do. And then I wanted to add one more thing. I'm sure that we all feel that things have gotten really stressed lately in life and just out there. And I want to remind you to have a little heart in your business. I have 2 quick stories that I'm going to share with you. I had some buyers that were great people, but every time we looked at a house, the husband shot every single house down. And the wife and I had really hit it off, and he was just kind of an introvert, so he wasn't hitting it off with us. I stood back and I watched him and I realized he feels left out. The next house we went into, it was completely arbitrary. I sat on the couch, I let her walk through the house, and I said, come sit with me to him. He sat down, we sat in silence for about 5 minutes. It seemed like an eternity. And then I turned to him and I said, what do you think? And he said, this is the one. He never walked the house. He had no idea, but he agreed. The wife was just happy he didn't shoot a house down after months of looking, and they bought the house. Recently, I went on a listing appointment and it's kind of a tough sale. My client was crying when I called her. So I was going to wash my car so I could show up in a clean car and all of this stuff. And I said, let me stop. I bought flowers, I bought dessert. I showed up with flowers and dessert, and we did talk business, but I eased into it slowly. It turned out to be a fantastic meeting. So my point is, listen with your heart to your clients because they're all going through something. And sometimes we lose sales because we're not reading between the lines. And a lot of times people just don't know how to articulate what it is that they're struggling with. But if you can catch something and you say, this needs a little warmth. I'm not sure what it is, but let me add a little warmth to this. And in my experience, it goes a really long way. They really stick with you. And then once you put them in your database after that, trust me, they're calling you for everything. They're calling you for a dog sitter. They're calling you for a plumber. And that's what you want. That's my 2 cents.
That's very good. Great stuff.
Okay. Virginia Cookie, you guys ready? Come on up, jumping in.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much, Chad, for letting us.
Come on
know.
over so they can
Forgot
see
to
online.
Zoom. This
Cookie,
is
you
our-
don't get in front of the camera anymore?
She now has gifted that
I know,
to me.
but-
As she says, she's an antique. I tell her she's vintage. But hello, everyone. I'm Virginia Rogers with WFG Title. We are your neighbors right here in this brick building next to you. Thank you so much for giving us a couple minutes. We have partnered with a wonderful organization in Fort Bend County called Shared Dreams, who has an initiative with Fort Bend ISD. We are doing a school supply drive and a hot dog lunch with snow cones at our office next Tuesday, the 25th. Please come by, donate a few school supplies if you can, bring your kids if you'd like, have a good hot dog lunch, some snow cones, have some fun and talk with us, and also be doing something good in return for our Fort Bend ISD students who are in need. Shared Dreams actually told us that 51% of the students in Fort Bend ISD this year will need some sort of assistance and are considered economically disadvantaged. So that number really shook me to my core because I think I live in a bubble where I think Fort Bend is such a diverse, relatively affluent county. And so that really, we decided to dig our feet in and get to work in to help these kids. So if y'all could help support us, come by, have a hot dog and snow cone. We'd love to see y'all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oops.
Nothing for.
Yeah.
Nothing for great news. Just pass this up. There we go.
Are we go? Amanda, you're gonna do the awards. This is our first one. All right. Are you ready? Are you nervous?
A little
You're
bit.
gonna pronounce all names 100% correct?
You know, if I
Just
don't
say-
pronounce it right, you can talk to me after the meeting. So this is my first time doing the awards, so I am asking for some grace.
Grace.
But I'm really excited because, this is my first time recognizing everyone. And I always see these names come across my desk, usually in checks or contracts, but I'm just really excited to recognize everyone. So let me start with, I never use this clicker, so, all right. Top listing units. Number 1, we have Robbie Jansky with 7 units.
7, Rocky.
Yeah, Robbie is actually my office neighbor, and we have a window between us, so I can hear everything going on. He is constantly doing stuff. So I'm really proud of Robbie. Next, we have Lyle Mugi with 6 units. We have, yes. Then we have Jamie Costins with 4 units in the 3rd place. Okay, next we have teams for top listing units. First, we have Kimber V team with 5 units. The DS team also with 5 units, so it's actually a tie. And then we have Warner Real Estate with 3 units.
Next, we have our groups. So in first place, we have the Audrey O'Neill team with 11 units. The BNP team with 9, the SIA group with 5, the home coach group with 3. Oh, this is actually 3-way. So it's a home coach group, the Kathy Stubbs team, and HTX Realty all with 3.
All right.
Then we have top listing volume. First, we have Lyle Mugi with 3.2 million, Jamie Castens with 2.3 million, Sapna Patel with 2 million, Kitty Valence with 1.7 million.
All right,
Some big
good
numbers
job.
there. Next, we have the teams. In first place, we have the Kimber V team with 2.2 million, the DS team with 1.4 million, the Day team with 1.3 million. Oh, I clicked
Good
next
job,
by
Linda.
accident. Then we have Warner Real Estate with 1.1 million and the Pam Shockley team with 1.1 million as well.
All right, good job. Listing
Next.
volume, that was just one property for you, right, Sam? What? No, not.
And then next we have the groups. So we have the BNP team with 6.1 million, the Audrey O'Neill team with 5.7 million, the SIA group with 2.1 million, the Kathy Stubbs team with 1.3 million, and the home coach group with 1.2 million.
Work.
Next, we have top closed units, individuals. We have Sahar Khatib with 8 units. Then we have Imelda Pradhan with 6 units, Sapna Patel also with 6, Jamie Castens with 6, and then the Susan Gorzinski with 5.
Good job. Just 6, Sapna? Taking it easy? Yeah.
And then next, we have the team. So we have the DS team in first place with 17. Then we have the Ambassador Real Estate Group with 8, Warner Real Estate with 5, Kimber V team with 4, and then also tied with Lupita DeCal with 4.
Good work.
Next, we have the group. So we have Audrey O'Neill in first with 21, the BNP team with 17, the Kathy Stubbs team with 11, the SIA group with 10, and the HTX Realty group with 7, and lastly, home coach group with 4. Congrats.
Okay, good work.
And next, we have the top adjusted close volume with individuals first. So we have, oh, sorry, wrong one. So we have Sapna Patel with 3.9 million, Sahar Khatib with 3.5, Jamie Castens with 2.3, Sheila Cox with 1.8, and Aura Poe with 1.8 million.
All right, good job. Yeah. She said drinks on you. Thank you. Chai, she goes for chai.
And then next we have the team. So we have Ambassador Real Estate Group with 2.1 million, Kimber V team with 1.9 million, Diaz team with 1.3 million, Lupita DeCal with 916,000. Then next we have our groups. So in first place, we have the Audrey O'Neill team with 8.5 million, the Kathy Stubbs team with 6.3 million, the BNP team with 4.2 million, the home coach group with 1.5 million, and HTX Realty with 1.2 million. All right, good job, guys. And next, we have the Triple Crown. So we have Sheila
Triple Crown
Cox.
is individuals, right? And these are resale. You have to have 3 or more, not including leases.
Correct. Thanks, Chuck.
Bet.
So well, not first, but in order. So we have Sheila Cox, then we have Sahar Khatib, Angie Farish, Susan Gorzinski, Jamie Castens, and Sapna Patel. So congrats to you all.
Go.
Okay. And then we have our anniversary. So we're gonna start out with our 1 years. So we have Neelam Sharina, Janai Garrett, Jennifer Home, Valerie McCall, Lindsay Molig, Sudha Wijakumar, Melissa Silva, Sheila Simon, Scott Thompson, Shahu Weaver, sorry, Brad Countryman, and those are all our, well, actually Brad's 2 years. Those are all our first years. So starting with the 2 years, we have Brad Countryman, Mohammed Rimaran, Renee Molin. This is where that pronunciation comes in play. Dion Parker, is all our 2 years. And then our 3 years, we have Bunyu Cho, Danielle Murdoch, Jade PD, Junling Young, Azam Pulays. Now 4 years, we have Sandra Cervantes, Sita Moore, Daniel Stein, Tamika Scott. And then our 5 years, into that 5-year mark, we have Lawrence Dupaz, PJ Jayaprakash, Felicia Rumor, Renaik Subakite, Lucy Tenede. 6 years, we have Murtis Turner, go Murtis. Then we have 8 years, we have Myrna Sharpay. Then we have 9 years, Milda Salinas, Brandon McLarty. Then 10 years, we have Lupita DeCal, Shirley Thornton. 11 years, we have Rosie Moore, LaDonna Parker. 13 years, we have Al Katir. Then we have Al Katir. Then 14 years, we have Carla Alas. And then 22 years, we have Kathy Stubbs. There you go, Kathy. All right, so next we have our cappers. First, we have the investor group. Then we have Serena Chu. Then we have Angie Farish. Then we have Joanne Bernader. Aura Poe.
You cap.
Yeah.
Right in front. You don't even know.
Yeah. Then I have Liska Sims. Congrats, Liska. And then I have Mike and Linda Day. Murtis Turner. Abish Salwini. Kathleen Glick, or Geik, sorry. And Brandy Zimos. So congrats on our rappers. Then next we have the just listed. So the first KW listing with us. So this is very exciting. So I have Adina Espinoza. And I have Elio Oyiwudi. Sorry. Eric Dragon. Then I have Miroz Wakar. Shanza Ahmed. And those were all our first listings. So now we have our first KW closings. So exciting. So I have Elizabeth Augustine. Farah Khalil. Jenny Acosta. Jimmy Villanueva. And Mara Pussy. And then Sandra Osai. Then I have Tony Jones. And then that finishes out all of our awards. So, congrats, everyone.
Good work.
Right.
It's good. You did great. You did great.
All right, just a
Quick tech update. It's a little one, but it's pretty big. You can go one more. There should be a screenshot for it. A couple of months back, guys, right? We showed you guys that in the Command app that there is a digital business card now. So you can actually, somebody can scan your QR code when you show it and they can save all your info and it comes from the marketing profile. We're a slight update on that now on the last Command app update is that now there's a share button on here as well. Okay, so if you don't have to, if they're not in front of you and they can't scan it, you can actually click on the share button and send it by any means necessary, right? You could text it, you can send it through WhatsApp, you can post it to Facebook, etc. Straight from this share button. Okay, so a lot more flexibility now on sharing your info, which again comes from the marketing profile in Command, straight through the app. All right, so that was the update.
Okay, great. Good
Take
stuff.
this just in case. Yeah.
No, we got to do it. Man, that's a good looking picture, isn't it? That was just taken last year, just in case anybody was asking and wondering. I just have facial hair, maybe a couple more cracks, that's all. All right, I was reading one of my books the other day. This book, have I guys talked to you about this book? It's really good. Now, I had a problem. I was out of town, right? And my business partner, AK, my wife, came in and she took my book And yet I didn't know she took my book. This thing sits on my desk. I read from it often, right? We're actually doing a book study with the leadership team on it. And I was searched everywhere. Barbara, where's my book? And then he goes, oh, I took it. And I didn't have it for a few days. I still used another one. And yet it's like, you know, yes. It's got some wise things. So I'm going to read from you. Remember, I'm an elementary school teacher at heart. And so I always like to go to some pages that really, really resonate with me. And this is what I read the other day once I find it. There's 12 tactics. Hold on. Give me a little bit. I didn't have it marked because I just got my book back. Here's what Gary says on page 28. He says, as you go through the list of necessary actions, these are things that you need to do that we just heard from today. Don't be surprised if they're not special, unique, or actually new. They are the foundational components of any successful real estate career. Our research with the best agents in the industry in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, that's the red book, and our ongoing dialogues with them absolutely shows that top agents become top agents by mastering the fundamentals. Maybe the reasons the basic are so often abandoned is that in fact, they aren't special, they're not unique, and they're certainly not new. When business gets tight, they reveal themselves as timeless factors that determine the difference between success or failure. School is never out for the motivated, and the basics are never outdated. So all I do is research the basic. The more that I'm in this industry, the more that I sit and talk with top producers along the way, the more that I just keep going back to the fundamental truths where we need to do. We get so spread out and we try to do too many things, yet the fundamentals and the basics, and it doesn't just not real estate, right? Great athletes, whatever sport they're in, what do they work on every day? The fundamentals. A great musician, they play and play and play, right? And they're usually on the same basic notes. So no matter what industry you're in, no matter what your profession is or skill, the basics are never outdated. So let's hit a few. I'm going to share something a little different, but they're still basics. I'm just going to say it in a different way. Knocking on doors. Is that a basic activity? Yes. Were they doing that 50 years ago, John, knocking on doors? It still works, and they were doing it 50 years ago. Do people get a little crazy on the other end? A small percentage, right? It's not easy, certainly hot if you do it now, right? I can remember back when I was in my career, this was in 2007, I got a listing in an area, and I just said, I will knock around for an open house. Easiest door knocking in the world, right? And I go down and I knock on a door from a listing, and his name was Kafir. And Kafir was in sales, and he thought it was the greatest thing ever that a real estate agent was knocking on his door and inviting him to the open house. Kafir needed to what? List and sell his home. Kafir was not originally from the United States. He was from Israel. And he hung out with what? A pocket of people that were from Israel. So I'm not from Israel, by the way, if you haven't noticed that. I became their realtor of choice, all by just knocking on the door. And salespeople love it when you knock on a salesperson's door. Have you ever had a salesperson? You're like, give it to me. Let's hear what you got. And I can still remember this day, a salesperson, I think they were pest control, and I entertained him a little bit. And he's 17 now, but this was a few years ago. And he goes, he's sitting at the dining room table and he goes, oh, he's got you. This is my kid saying this. Because I hit the objection. I'm like, oh, crud, I'm going to be changing my account. It's never outdated. Face-to-face appointments, right? We try to live so much by this and we stay behind it. But face-to-face, never outdated. There's so much more that we can do. And we always go for the appointment. So when we're meeting people for the first time and we introduce them, don't sell everything that you do in real estate. You're just closing for an appointment. That's it. We try to tell them way too much. And all you're doing is, it sounds like you and I need to meet. What's a good time? Let's go for a cup of coffee. Let's sit down and talk about it. If it's sitting on the couch. Remember, this is not unique or different. Snail mail. Oh, by the way, Greg's not in here, but we're still seeing postcards, letters, handwritten notes, right? They still work. We think we got to go to the internet to do something big and get on Google, which is effective, by the way. You can still do that, but don't ever forget writing a good old fashioned, sending a postcard. And a lot of people are abandoning it, by the way. That's why it's still effective. Thank someone. It says here, it's important to make a favorable impression on somebody after you close the sale. We already get that. This will make them inclined to refer you to someone who requires real estate services. You can be sending a thank you note. You could be sending them flowers, a cup of coffee, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be when a deal closes. So I remember when I was in real estate, I'm still in real estate, but meaning active in sales. Let me articulate that. And I was working with a new build. Perry Homes. Remember, this is 2007 and 8 when the market was shifting. Inventory, they were giving BTSA, and we just went after a salesperson, and I really just beat them up. She got to the point and she says, if you ask for one more thing, I'm going to cancel this deal. I'm done with you. I went, okay, cool. You get to that point, you get the most that you can. And so I had a little voice in my head says, you kind of beat them up and do it, send her flowers. So I sent the salesperson flowers and thanked them from the transaction. She says to me, as all my years in sales, you know how many agents actually sent me flowers? 0. That was the first. What do you think the rest of the transaction went like? Fast forward 10 years ago, if I'm at an event or something, she will seek me out. Now that can be salesperson, that can be your client, that could be co-opting on another deal that doesn't get done. Send a thank you note. You never know. If somebody's going through a tough time, just send them a note. It doesn't have to be flowers. You just mentioned that, right? All right, hone in on your communication skills. Ora and I did not communicate before, but she said she needed to slow down and do what? Listen. And listen can just be. So this brings me to my favorite quote. The leadership team just rolls their eyes because they've heard this before. And this is from Susan Screechot. It says, our work, our relationships, and our lives succeed or fail one conversation at a time. While no single conversation is guaranteed to transform a company, a relationship, or a life, any single conversation can. Speak and listen. And this is the most important conversation you will ever have with this person. It could be. Participate as it matters. It does. It's a pretty good quote to live by. Let's always strive and have intentions to be fully present when we listen to people. That's why we go practice scripts and dialogues. It's not so we can say something fancy and close somebody. So we're prepared for what we need to say so we can be physically present and really listen to them and not worried about, oh my gosh, what am I going to say next? What am I going to say? Then you're just not listening. By the way, this never goes out of style. So hone in your communication skills. Stay in touch. We already heard that today. Or already set this up for me. We did not communicate. Stay in touch, keep it. You got to keep your client's mind. You got to be top of mind. However it takes, you got to do it. If it's smart plans, set up smart plans. You need to stay top of mind. Best communication ever is picking up the phone and calling. We know that. But there's ever tools that we have. I couldn't give you a better example than Ora gave you just right here today. Know your stuff. We're in the real estate industry. In your neighborhood, do you know how many listings are active? Do you know how many are pending? How about your area? And if you're at a dinner party and somebody says, how's the market? Don't say fantastic. Have some information and dialogue and be able to talk to them. And if you're at that party that's in an area that you work and you go, hey, what happened to that property on 123 Main Street? And you go, I don't know, I need to look that up. You're no longer the expert of the area. Know it, study it, and that's just the heartbeat of you. Know what's out there. Be able to write a powerful offer when you send it off. That's knowing your stuff. and really be familiar with that doesn't take talent, by the way. Look it up, go research it, know it. And if you got to start small, but really hone out. You should know how many months of inventory are in your area in the county so you can have meaningful conversation. That's something that never goes outdated. Last one I'm in here is host events. Events are a great way to connect with people on a personal level. Do events, host them, entertain people. It is a little bit of effort, but there's nothing like being face to face with your client. I tell you, client appreciation are still some of the greatest things that we see. Does it cost money? Sure, but there's other ways to do it. Those are all just basic skills. They're never outdated. They never go away. You know, the internet, whoops, I had one more line in here. The internet gives us great marketing options. You could see none of those top things that I listed. But it's important just never to neglect the back to basic. The videos and social media, that's secondary to work in your database. Secondary. I'll pick on Sapana. Sapana called me the other day and she was like, hey, I got this client. They're thinking about leasing their property and they already purchased something. And I said, why weren't you in contact them before? She goes, no, I know I missed the opportunity. They were already there in their database. And I'm not beating her up. I'm just telling you, anyone in this, we got to hone in and really circle in on our database and class in your sphere. I'm telling you, everyone is sitting on 3 to 4 deals for the rest of the year that's in your inner circle. You're going to have to come with value. You're going to have to create the opportunity in the conversations, and you're going to have to get in front of them. Our sales are going to be tight for the rest of the year. Doesn't mean there's not opportunity out there. I was at an event today with Top Brokers, and they said, these are $1 million and $2 million properties. And they said, if it is priced right and it's in great condition, it'll be multiple offers. I mean, there's always some areas. I'm telling you, there's not enough inventory at it, hence why we're hitting on the listings, but I'm telling you, it's right there in your database, your next listing. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. And even if you call them, just offer them gratitude. Hey, I was thinking about you. How are things going? Or I need your help. Pretty simple, right? That's where the profoundness comes in this industry and the great business. Okay, thoughts. Stop talking, Chad. That's 2. Andy's rolling her eyes, so that's good. I know that's a cue. No, I'm just kidding. What are you hearing in that? Come on, give me something. There, yeah, we know that every month when we look at how many homes are sold in Fort Bend County, just we're not getting enough of those. Yes. Go ahead, Linda.
I just want to say that I recently had somebody come and knock on my door last week because I used to put out flags on 4th of July for the neighborhood. And I would, and you know, I just thought it was a nice thing to do. And I kind of stopped because it was hot and I wasn't getting anything from it. And the woman knocked on my door and said, I've got a lot I want you to list. I remember you from putting the flags out.
So next year, you're going to put the flags out?
So next year, I'm gonna put the flags out.
Yes. It goes back to that memorable. Yeah, right. And normally she goes, nothing was coming. Just be consistent and frequent. And she still got something out of it. Sometimes the dam is about ready to break loose. That's a fantastic. Something as simple as that. Okay, what else? Oh, you get it again. You're on fire earlier, so I can't wait to hear this.
Because you're talking about the basics.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, the world is so noisy and it's easy for us to think, oh, if I'm not dancing on some social media channel or doing this and this
TikTok,
and that,
yes.
yeah, then I'm not going to get, this is what I have to do. But those are really distractions. And it's really easy. Like I joke around, I say, let me make this Facebook post and convince myself I'm working. I say that all the time because sometimes we think we tell ourselves we're working when we're doing that. But the fact of the matter is that that's where the gold is that basic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right. Anybody else? Tanya, go ahead. Right behind you.
Just to say, and we all know everything is shifting, but I do a lot of research and data. I was 77022. I was so surprised. It's 5.1 month of inventory in that area. So it is shifting.
Yep. Okay, keep going. Anybody else? Nothing? John, 40 years? Was that all right? 50, sorry. I want to say I'm 40. I'm 50. The reason I know 73 is 50 years ago because I had a birthday. But all those is still timeless. Now, let's not forget, everyone needs a place to live, right? Life changes will dictate a real estate need, not the market or whatever it is in interest rates. This is a unique market because our inventory sits so competitively. Interest rates are moving. It'll be interesting if interest rates go down. That's what we're like, oh my goodness, we're going to need some inventory to compete in this. And we got to get to these sellers, right? You get your property in the right condition. I think that's the biggest thing that I see when I see that property that just pops online. You know, there's one down the street from us and we're like, I think its price is, it was one of those properties, you know, you're like, how many offers is this going to get? You just knew it the moment they put the sign in the yard. It was just going to go. If you get that condition to make your property pop, it will move quickly. And we just need some more. And there's listings all around us, right? There's opportunity. People are going to be moving. LaDonna just said she's got some clients. It came from the D word. And that still happens. And it's going to continue. Life changes occur around us every day. So let's go get it. Because what you gain in a shift, market share, we never give up. And let's certainly not give up anything. Final thoughts? Anyone else? Okay, great. That's all I have. Let's switch over to our vendor partners. Oh, only Pat and Tyler. Give us something good.
Don't I always? Hey. Hi, I'm Melissa Lima from downstairs at Patent Title. What I passed out to you guys is our doc prep department. We actually have a whole doc prep department with Patent Title who handles all of the doc prep or anything needed from your clients for closings. So anytime you have clients for those one-offs, we can either do that as well too. It doesn't have to be part of a real estate transaction. We can do anything from e-recording, so they don't have to take the physical document down to the county. Deeds, look on here, warranty deeds, special deeds, release, power of attorney, affidavit of heirship is huge, correction deeds, anything like that. We also do title and deeds into their entity or trust. After closing, we can help prepare that. Or like I said, if it's not even part of a real estate transaction, we can just do a transfer of title or deed into their entity. We can prepare revocable transfer on death deeds, so your clients have that peace of mind, and probate isn't needed if they pass. And seller financing packets, that sort of thing. So you can just contact Doc Prep at docprep911, or you can contact me and I can put you in touch with them. Turnaround time is typically 24 hours on any document. So it's a huge, huge help. And like I said, it doesn't need to be a part of a real estate transaction. If you just have a client that needs to maybe put something in their LLC or prepare an affidavit of heirship for you, that we can do that. And I don't have a fun fact. I feel super, super lame that I don't, but let me think of one real quick. Do you have a fun fact, Dale?
All of my facts are fun. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Are you done?
Yeah, but tell me one.
I don't have one for you. Go over there. Hey, good morning, everyone. Hey, wanted to talk about a couple of things going on in the market. Things have changed a little bit. Seems like the economy, according to some of the consensus is that inflation's dropping some. Anybody heard that? Okay. Chance of recession, maybe not as close as what they were indicating or dictating. With that in mind, a few months back, Pam, are you here anymore? Pam Shockey? No. We were talking about buy downs. Everyone, a 2-1 buy down, buying down interest rates.
What does that mean?
The reason I'm bringing it up, I'm going to explain it, is that right now, because of the talk that rates will come down later, mortgage companies like us sell loans to investors. We make our money when we sell a loan that is underwritten according to the guidelines of Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. There is a value to that loan. If that loan is subject to potentially being refinanced relatively soon, if rates come down, then there's not a lot of value to that loan. What that means is that for a mortgage company to make any money or the investor to make any money, all of the buyers right now are paying discount points to get their rate lowered. Some of those discount points, if the buyer pays it, we are above a limit, a tolerance level. We can't charge 5 discount points to a guy to get a rate, even if he wanted to pay it, of 4%. So we're required to have the buyers in some case, this is coming back, to start to pay discount points to buy down the interest rate for some of their potential buyers. What that means, it's a temporary situation. If today's rate is 7% and we do a 2-1 buy down, we are potentially having the seller pay closing costs to cover the difference to buy down their rate in the first year 2 percentage points. To go from 7%, the current market, to a rate of 5% in year 1 for the first year. When year 2 starts, that rate will bump up to 6%. So there's a 2-1, 2 for the first year, 1 for 1 year. And then in the third year, the rate will readjust up to the current market rate of 7%. The contract has to be written to show that the seller will be paying to buy down the interest rate. The amount of money that the seller will be paying is calculated by the monthly savings that the buyers will have between current rate of 7% in the first year to 5%. Let's just use a number. Let's say it's $4,000. In the second year, that savings to go to 6% might be an additional $2,000. In this instance, the seller would need to pay to buy down the interest rate $6,000 to be applied for this buy down. If that buyer refinances their loan and we haven't gone through the full 2 years, part of that money, let's say they did it after the first year, $4,000 was used of their savings. There's still $2,000 left over. That money would be applied to the balance that the buyer has on his mortgage. It's a little confusing. I'm seeing you guys are not quite following. Get with us to let us explain that, but we are seeing it. Right now, when an investor knows that in a few months, if rates come down to 5%, every loan they've done today and for the past few months is going to be refinanced. They are losing money if they paid a mortgage company money. So we're going to charge the buyer in a way to offset that. Any questions regarding that, please get with us. We have a class tomorrow that they talked about that is an appraisal class. I've got a guy that's going to be here teaching it. He's going to give you as agents the ability to understand how to read an appraisal, but also how to potentially dispute if a house doesn't make value, some of the different things and the information you can provide to a lender to submit to their appraisers to help support values. If you've got multiple offer situations that show that people are willing to pay more money, that can be taken into consideration when determining a value. So we want to be here tomorrow. It starts at 10 o'clock. It is for 2 hours CE class. I think that I'm paying the cost for your continuing education for the instructor. So it's 2 free hours, if you will, from 10 until noon. Starts tomorrow. I'd love to have you all here. Thank you.
All right,
I
good stuff.
appreciate it.
Thanks so much. All right.
Okay, first of all, I need to apologize. We were supposed to bring lunch today and there was some miscommunication on my part. So there is no lunch and that's my fault. So please crucify me. Okay. So I am with Brian and Brian. A lot of you guys are familiar with us and what we do. We are trying to really develop a good relationship with you guys. So we will be bringing a spread the next time. So, but we are giving away a gift card today. Probably the biggest thing that we have that's brand new is we have a pay at close option now. So if you have buyer clients that the price of the inspection may be something that they didn't budget for, or something that kind of just took them off guard, now we can keep a credit card on file and they can take care of it at closing. This is particularly good for people getting into like new builds where there's some seller incentives. It can essentially take care of the cost of the inspection at the closing table. So that's brand new. Just wanted to make you guys aware with that. And we are giving away a gift card, so there
Okay,
is
great.
something. It's for Minuti Coffee, so you guys want to just leave a business card, we'll draw for it and we'll give it away.
Okay, great. Good Athletes business card. We'll run around and gather those and get them up. All right. And we'll drop, we won't wait for the meeting for everybody to get one. Make sure you get those in as well. Any final things that I missed, Norman? Anything else? I guess it's a great time to go find somebody and go, hey, let me buy you lunch. Or do you want, just say, hey, will you buy me lunch? And go find a good spot as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Packed schedule. Love to see you at Mega Agent Camp. If there's anything that I can do to help you, don't hesitate to reach out. And let's go get some listings. Go on a cruise. All right. Have a great day. Thank you guys.